Hello everyone, I'm your host Monty, and welcome back to Intrusive Plots, where we break down the latest and greatest in animation. Today, we're diving deep into the amazing digital circus, focusing on episode 4, Fast Food Masquerade, and specifically one character who really stood out this time, Gangle. We'll be taking a closer look at her development throughout the episode and analyzing some potential themes that emerge. And of course, we're going to end with a very important and tense moment from the finale. But before we get deep into that, let's do a quick recap of episode 4, Fast Food Masquerade. In episode 4 of the amazing digital circus, things take a darker turn as the characters are faced with new challenges in the digital circus world. We see the tension building between the group as the emotional stakes rise. While the group's dynamic continues to evolve, Gangle's personal struggle really comes to the forefront in this episode, making it one of her most complex appearances so far. In episode 4, she's learned to play ball with Ragatha and Jax, but like usual, she's visibly uneasy. Jax breaks her mask, leading to Zubul giving her a new one, a plastic one that shouldn't break so easily. Compared to Gangle's ceramic mask, Kane pops up and it's adventure time. But they use a suggestion box this time around that Kane wasn't aware they had. And we go on one of Gangle's adventures, working at a restaurant, and she's the shift leader. We see a different side of Gangle, more upbeat and assertive over how she wants things to go.
And with that out of the way, let's get to work, guys.
Oh no! It looks like I've taken Ragatha and dropped her in the deep fryer.
No. We can't have anything like that going on around here. Hey, Kane, we're having a bit of an issue with the employees, and I was wondering if you could maybe have a punishment waiting for them at the end of the day if they do a terrible job.
Wait, what?
Motivation! That's what my adventures have been missing! Great idea, Gangle! I'll be sure to make something truly awful awaiting your rotten employees!
Why would you do this?
It's called a manic episode, and you're getting 3 more seasons!
Which is a stark contrast to her usual self, and sort of payback for how Jax treated her in episode 2.
I don't think
Aren't you supposed to be submissive and agreeable? Move it!
However, as the episode progresses, we see Gangle's anxiety start to manifest in more direct ways, particularly in scenes like...
Oh, I hate this guy.
Never say you hate the customer while the customer is still here. We wait until after hours for that.
where she finds herself worrying if Ordman will hear Jax saying bad things about him. This scene is important because it highlights how Gangle feels about others' opinions. As the episode continues, Gangle feels like everyone is growing a resentment for her. This is not helped by Ragatha or Jax.
It's not?
Bad!
I like you better when you're sad.
Giving it 110% instead of, 5?
No offense, but you're kind of annoying when you have your happy mask.
Those two being two sides of the same coin is something I'll touch on more when we get more episodes with them. But here's where it gets interesting. Gangle's emotional complexity really shines through in the final moments of the episode, especially in the ending scene. We see Gangle having a pivotal moment where it seems like she's contemplating something drastic, whether it's running away from the group or literally jumping into the unknown, in a metaphorical sense. This ending is incredibly tense, as it suggests that Gangle might finally be at a breaking point mixed with the desire for escape. In the end, Zubul comforts Gangle and invites her to come with the rest of the group. Gangle had doubts and decided to isolate herself from others, but decided to join them when she realized she still has friends who care. Alright, now let's talk about Gangle, as if we wasn't doing that this entire time already. While she often stays in the background, episode 4 does a great job giving us a closer look at her emotional landscape and inner turmoil. Let's dive deeper into her character development in this episode and unpack the themes surrounding her. Episode 4 touches on Gangle's character. First off, one major theme we see is identity and self-worth. Gangle constantly questions where she fits into the circus and with other characters. The world she's in is disorienting, and she feels like an outsider. This is especially clear when she expresses doubts about her role in the group. She seems to struggle with whether or not she belongs, both in terms of the circus world and her emotional ties with others. A perfect example of this happens in the scene where Gangle and Pomni talks outside.
Do you have anybody to talk to? Like, in regards to your issues? I'm sure Ragatha would like to help you out.
Oh, Ragatha. I love her, but after a while it gets kinda hard to tell how genuine she's actually being.
Well, maybe...
Anyway, we can't spend all night out here talking about our feelings. We've got work to do.
During a moment where she almost speaks up but stops herself, this hesitation is a huge part of Gangle's character and one of the recurring themes throughout the show. She doesn't feel comfortable expressing herself, and the fear of rejection or judgment holds her back. It's such a relatable moment for anyone who's ever felt like they're not enough, unsure of their place in a group, or can't fully trust how others might feel. Gangle's character ties into several broader themes within the amazing digital circus. Some of the key themes she embodies include identity and self-perception. Gangle's fractured sense of self and her tendency to feel incomplete reflects the digital circus' broader themes of finding one's identity in an unnatural, often surreal world. She grapples with how others perceive her and how she perceives herself, which is a significant part of her journey. While episode 4 ends with her being invited to join the rest of the group, she is far from the end of her journey, which leads to mental health and anxiety. Gangle's character serves as a representation of anxiety and emotional vulnerability. Her struggle with social anxiety and self-doubt makes her one of the more grounded and relatable characters for viewers who have similar experiences with mental health. As Zubul puts it,
Ha ha! Good one, Zubul.
Ragatha's just too nice to say anything. Jax just likes to fight with everybody. Gangle's too shy to speak up. Kinger's insane. And Pomni, she looks traumatized.
but the thing she got wrong is Gangle. Gangle isn't too shy to speak up. It's that she can't, because when she tries, everyone lets her know how much they dislike her, which contributes to her social anxiety more and more. I also believe she has depression. A lot of people say she's autistic coded, and I'm a believer that she's a character where you can put your own spin on it, and while it is there, I see it as a chronically depressed individual who has to put on a face to get through the day because they don't want to drag others down, and when they finally get to be alone and take the mask off, they fall apart, which we see happen in this scene. Or becoming so mentally drained you can no longer keep up the act in public with this scene.
Hey, Gangle! I think the clock's broken.
Is it broken? Or are we the broken ones?
But there's also always the darker side to chronic depression. And that's going from intense depression to sudden happiness. Some people will say Gangle just slipped because she looked shocked, but that isn't entirely true. Kane even says it himself.
Complaints? Couldn't help but notice, however, that you seem to have cut your own shift short, went a little kooky, and ran out into oncoming traffic. Now, being in a position of power like this, you could offload the blame to one of your employees and avoid the dock on your score. What do you think?
She wasn't spinning around and then lost her footing. She ran to the edge of the road, turned around, and jumped. She was shocked because her mind was at war within itself, and she couldn't believe she actually did it. But that's how it is sometimes, and it's the darkest side of people who deal with depression. It's not always black and white, and the sudden blissfulness before reality sets in is a common thing. Support and empathy. Despite her own insecurities, Gangle is surrounded by people who accept her. Ragatha was inebriated, and Jax was annoyed, but for characters like Pomni and Zubul, they both understood and saved her. Pomni saved her with her act of kindness.
You know, I can close for you if you want.
Huh?
If you want to get out of here, you can. You don't have to be stuck here alone. I can handle closing.
Would that be okay?
I think so. You should go home and get some rest.
And Zubul with acceptance and reassurance.
Hey, what are you all the way out here for?
I messed everything up. The mask didn't work. And now I don't think anybody wants to talk to me anymore.
I still like talking to you.
This highlights the importance of emotional connections and how caring for others can be an act of strength, even when one is struggling internally. That's the video, guys. I hope you subscribe to the channel for more. We will be releasing a video every single week, so stay tuned.